And he goes to the bar. He's like, I would like your finest alcoholic beverage. Like, seriously, Chaz. Like, I'm going to get the berry bombastic mojito. Just looking at that, and so then Becky comes on over and she was like, I would like one beer, please. It's like, you can't just say I would like a beer. You have to say, I like a Heineken. I would like a Hefeweizen. I would like a specific brand of beer. You can just tell these people have not been outside. It's just like, I would like a beer. What kind of beer? Let me help you. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But, my friends, thank you again for joining me. Hope you're all having a very nice Saturday evening. But we got to get down to the nitty-gritty, specific details, chat. And I have to review Amazon's Utopia. Okay? I had not heard of this series until it was suggested to me. Actually, no, I had heard of this series. I had never watched it. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't see any trailers. But this, again, this was selected by a very generous individual, chat. They had submitted the 1,000 biddy price tag. That is $10. And if you do that on stream, chat, if you donate $10, 1,000 biddies, you have the choice of selecting an episode of a TV series that I can review on stream, doing a scene by scene breakdown. That's why I'm doing Utopia, chat. But I knew nothing about this show. I knew it was on Amazon. That was it. I knew that John Cusack was in it. I know that Rainn Wilson, chat, he was in it. They're not in this first episode. I can tell you that much. They're not in it, chat. So I don't know when the fuck they're going to appear. We shall see. But my question is to you, chat. How many of you have seen Amazon's Utopia? There was a British version. There was a British version from like 2013, 2014, around that time. I think it lasted for like 2 seasons or something. Maybe it was just a 2-season show. But specifically the American version. That's all I know. Your girl, my girl from Happy Death Day is in it. She plays the character of Sam, and she's cutie patootie, and she's talented. I always like seeing her in stuff. I want to see her in more stuff. She's great. Who's the actress? Jessica Roth. I like her a lot. Let's see here. DT Garlics, never seen it. Ace Rock, I've watched both. There you go. DT Garlics, never seen it. Who the door just, woo, hype. Edman, nope. Ace Rock, I watched the American version all the way through and hated most. Oh, really? You hated most of it? Oh, okay. J Guzman, is that the one with Rainn Wilson? Yes. That is indeed Rainn Wilson. Just 2 seasons. I believe the British one was just 2 seasons, unless my research is, I could be incorrect. But I believe it lasted like 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons. Casper, I haven't. This is, man, I use Amazon Prime, and I've never seen or heard of it. Chris said, I have no clue this exists until someone suggests you review it and add it to the list. There you go. The Elite late stream started. Oh, yep. I started at 10 p.m. Central Standard, which I typically stay. I start around 9, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I want to start this one earlier, but on Saturday streams earlier. But I was just working on quite a few things and want to get some stuff. Plus, I want to eat some food too. I want to eat my chicken and broccoli and black bean shit, before I start streaming. So, most of you, Jay Guzman, haven't seen it. Most of you have not seen it. Looks like Ace Rock has seen it. Well, he's not a fan. Not a fan of the American version. I don't know what the critical consensus in the show is. I literally don't. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about it before I started watching, chat. I did not watch any trailers for it. I vaguely maybe knew the premise that it deals with kind of, hence the name Utopia. It's dealing with some kind of end of the world kind of threat. And then it had John Cusack and it had Rainn Wilson, who apparently are involved in some capacity. So that was about it. Outside of that, I knew nothing about this series, chat. I guess it's 1 season. It's 8 episodes. I don't know if they are going to pick it up for any more. I had no idea. Apparently, it did not. I'm reading the reviews right now. Very mixed. Very mixed reviews. And that's it. Yeah. So who knows if it's even getting a second season? They can't. Okay, they canceled it. There you go. Well, there you go, chat. I'm reviewing. I guess we'll never fucking find out. Maybe I should even continue watching it. We'll see. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with this shit, outside the 2013, that's what the British series came out 2013, not 2014. It was in early 20 teens. The premise of the show is this, chat. There is this comic book called Utopia. I guess it's like a single issue. I guess it's more like a graphic novel. And apparently, chat, the writer of this comic book predicted things that happened in the real world, chat. So he's like Nostradamus. Think of him like a modern day Nostradamus. So, for example, the comic book predicted all of these various, funny enough, diseases and plagues that afflicted the planet, chat, like years later. And within the writing and within the artwork of this specific comic, chat, people were able to decipher and go, holy shit, it was whole right here. How the hell did he know all this, chat? And the premise of the comic is that you have this character named Mr. Rabbit. His name is, and he's literally a fucking rabbit. He's literally a guy in a creep. He's an anthropomorphic rabbit. He's like Bugs Bunny. What if Bugs Bunny went fucking insane? Well, he already kind of is. But what if Bugs Bunny was a megalomaniac, chat? And he said, I want to destroy the fucking world, and I want to hire Rainn Wilson to create all sorts of plagues. All right, and to ravish humanity. What if I did that? And so I'm going to kidnap his little girl whose name, I don't know, Jasmine, Janine, good old little Janine. I'm going to kidnap this little girl, and you're going to do all sorts of fucking plagues, right? And apparently, chat, she's, this person is Rainn Wilson, his daughter. They're saved by Mr. Rabbit from a very large and very tough woman. Named Jessica Hyde. Her name is Jessica Hyde. She's like a badass, chat. She's like a female Rambo, if you will. And she goes in there and she fucking fights Mr. Rabbit's forces and she rescues Rainn Wilson, his daughter, chat. And that's kind of the premise of the comic. But however, apparently the comic within the artwork itself, like very weird specific shit. Like the shape of a leaf, chat. You'll notice like the shape of this leaf is the exact proportions of the country of Uganda. Chat. And you'll notice in one corner of the same page, it has this other shape of leaf which is specifically in the shape of a fucking bat, which carried this virus that ravished all Uganda. And you have these characters in this show who are obsessed with this comic book. And they research is like, no, this is predicting the future. This is very important. And the book is called Dystopia. The original book is called Dystopia until, chat, they find another book called Utopia. It was lost. The manuscript was lost. You know, it was preordained that they were going to do another one. And that's why certain people love this, is that because somehow this book has predicted all of these natural disasters, all of these plagues and things that have afflicted the planet for the last few years. That's the big thing. And you have some other people that don't want that information to get out there, Chad, and we will get into those details in a bit, Chad. The episode opens up with fucking Ron Weasley, Chad, and Hermione Granger. Okay, Ron Weasley, I don't know their names, but they're about to get married, Chad. They're almost out of school. I think they graduated college, and apparently, Chad, Hermione's granddad left her his old home. And they're like, oh, perfect. He left us his old home. We're wanting to buy a house. It'll be great. We'll just go on in there. You got fucking Ron Weasley and Hermione. They're all flirting and shit. Why, it's this normal-looking suburban neighborhood, chat. We're going to start a family in here. It's going to be great. We're going to be able to pay off your student debt, and I'm going to be able to start my podcast. It's going to be great. And they open up the door, chat, and just a wave of just fucking disgusting fumes, chat, just hit their fucking faces. And they see that apparently Granddad Granger, right? He's a hoarder. Was a hoarder, Chad, because he's fucking dead. They found him mummified in his chair, Chad. The fungus was growing from his body himself. How does fungus grow from within inside you, Chad? Apparently that's what happened. And they have to get him out of there, Chad. But the whole fucking house is it's disgusting. And they spend all their time cleaning it, Chad. And they're like, oh, God, it's going to take forever. Just fucking, bag it and trash it. That's what you got to do, is grab it, put it in the bag, and trash it. That's what we have to do here. And the thing is, Chad, Ron Weasley, Ron is I don't know the actor's name. He looks like Ron Weasley to me. It's not actually Rupert Grint. I'm just saying that's his name for the sake of fucking convenience. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to, it's like, I want this specific time. No, his fucking Ron Weasley to me. And I thought, who's the closest thing who could be Ron Weasley's love interest? Hermione Granger, Chad. This is my review. This is my scene by scene breakdown, Chad. So the details, they might be, a little fudged is all, but you'll get the general gist of it, Chad. You get the general gist. And so, as fucking Ron, he's cleaning up the goddamn house, Chad. Oh, these fucking he turns the ceiling fan and just caked with fucking dust. Fucking caked with dust, Chad. And it blows away these pages, and they find these pages, Chad, and they're like, oh, these are pages of Utopia, the unreleased manuscript sequel of Utopia, Chad. It's a big fucking deal. Like, these two don't know what the fuck it is. I'm like, oh, those are comic books. And Ron's telling Hermione, he's like, listen, I knew this one guy who sold this Batman comic for like $1 million. I mean, there might be some money from this. They can fucking pay off your student debt. I'd be able to start my podcast. Oh, it's going to be great. And he looks up, apparently, Dystopia on the internet. Everybody's like, whoa, there's a fucking huge fan culture like around this particular book. Okay, and then we get all these really just these quick cuts, chat, and we cut to this one person who apparently the world is going through a water crisis. Nobody has any water. No more water anymore, chat. Water's gone. So instead of like watering the grass, we paint the grass, chat. We have I didn't know this is a thing, but we work there's they're at a graveyard, chat, a cemetery, and you have this one girl, and she has this green paint. She just sprays on the grass. I'm like, that's probably not healthy for the environment in any capacity. And she's pumping the shit because her grass sprinkler's not working. But then, chat, she gets a fucking text, gets a hit because the sequel apparently to Dystopia, chat, Utopia, it's gonna be put up for auction at Comic-Con. All right, she's like, oh my god, and apparently she belongs to this crazy fucking group, these nuts who believe in the idea that Dystopia predicted all of these natural disasters and plagues that afflicted the planet. And she starts texting everyone in the group. And this character's name is Sanchez, played by Jessica Roth, who you might have seen in the Happy Death Day films. I'm actually a big fan of the first one. The second one's okay. But the first one I think is great. It's serial killer Groundhog's Day, chat. That's what it is. And so she's texting, and we get this one character, chat. We cut to this one character. His name is Ian, chat. And he's a big fucking nerd. You can tell by looking at him, chat. He works, he sells a specific type of insurance for Lyme disease. And that's not what he wants to do for the rest of his life, chat. He wants to be a writer, but he can only publish all of his work. The only publisher who will take him is fanfiction.net. Seriously, that's a fucking line in the episode. Only way I can publish my stuff is fanfiction.net. Talking about my Star Wars /fic. My Star Wars, Star Trek /fic. It's good for you, Ian. But apparently, good old Samantha, she texts him and tells him about this fucking, the sequel to Dystopia Utopia is going to be on auction at this Comic-Con. And he's like, oh, he gets all excited. And then, chat, we cut to this one girl named Becky, Chad. This one girl named Becky, and apparently she is internet boyfriend, girlfriend with Ian, Chad. They've never seen each other before, but she's got the hots for a guy she is not seen for two. How do you not know what each other look like? That's the thing that's weird to me. So they've been communicating. This doesn't make any sense. So this group, these 4 people, I'll talk about the other ones, but this group of 4 people have been communicating with each other for 2 years. For 2 years, and none of them know what each other look like, which I do not fucking believe. I do not believe that for a second. I was like, no. You would know about each other's social media, unless they just don't have social media profiles, which I still find is suspect. One of them, maybe not, but I'm like, come on, bullshit. But Becky, she's like, oh, I'm so excited. Not only, chat, because she's get to see the Dystopia sequel, Utopia, chat, but she'll finally have the sex with Ian. But chat, apparently she has an issue, a secret that she doesn't want to reveal. And they try to make it it might be something different in the first episode, but it looks like she has these really massive seizures. And to the point where, when she's just about to leave, she almost has a little panic attack. She can feel it coming on. She starts getting a little faint when she's watering her plant. And she literally has to strap herself in to her arms, which makes sense because you want to fall down and hit your head or something. But she straps herself into a recliner chair, chat, and literally binds her arms to, probably she doesn't hit herself or something, binds her arms to the sides of the chair, chat, and the armrests, and then she has a seizure. But I don't know why she's embarrassed about that. It's hey, people have seizures. I don't know why that's a big fuck, unless it's something else that we just don't know. I have no idea. But she's like, ah, and it's like, okay, whatever. And then we have the other one who his name is Wilson, chat. That is literally his name. His first name is Wilson, last name is Wilson. And this guy's fucking weird. And he is a conspiracy theorist. I mean, all of them kind of are and to a degree, but he's like he's the worst of the worst. Where he lives in a compound, like a conspiracy theorist compound with his dad, who is also a conspiracy theorist, but his dad's like an old school conspiracy theorist. Like he's listening to fucking, police scanners all the time. He's listening on airports at specific terminals for like sound devices he's placed there. Just weird shit. Right, but his son's obsessed with this comic book. He's kind of dismissive of him, but he's like, hey, well, you have fun with your conspiracy theorists. I don't know how the fuck the family supports themselves. They all live in this one. I don't know how they do it, unless they can take odd jobs or something. They live in this little compound. All the windows are shuttered. All the windows are boarded up. It's just, this is fucking weird. All right, and they have like a massive fucking family. But Wilson, he's obsessed with this comic book because he's obsessed with predicting future plagues and diseases and shit. And he's excited because he's a part of this goddamn group. And they've decided, chat, they're going to go to Comic-Con and bid on this comic book. Apparently, the couple, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, they've rented out a hotel room at the Comic-Con, and they're going to have people come in, and they're each going to be able to view at least one page of it. Right? And then they can write down their name, information, all that shit, make their bid, and they will contact that person so then they can get their money, chat. So fucking Ron Weasley can start his podcast, and Hermione Granger can pay off her debt to Hogwarts, chat. It'll be perfect, right? And so they're all going. But meanwhile, chat, we introduced some other characters too. And the one character we see, he's just on the side of the road, and all he's fucking doing, chat, is eating Chex Mix with Cheez-Its. And goldfish. No, goldfish. It's Chex Mix and goldfish. And he's just munching away. Chat. He looks like fucking Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. I've seen this actor before, but he just looks like Sheldon for the sake of fucking convenience, chat. We're gonna call him Sheldon, okay? And then, he's just looking at his fucking phone, and suddenly his goddamn sports car just stops right next to him. And this one guy, we're just going to call him Mr. Hat, because that's his defining attribute, Chet. He wears a fedora. He is a white man who wears a fedora unironically, which I think is a huge issue. It's like, sadly, Chet, fedoras, like, hey, they look cool back in the day, Chet. I love seeing a 40s, 50s, 60s era movie, and people wearing fedoras. They look fucking cool, right? But you can't wear them anymore. Because the meme, Chet, my lady, it's not going to work. You can't fucking do it. You can't fucking do it. And the guy parks right next to fucking Sheldon, Mr. Fedora, and he's like, hey, man, get in. And the guy's like, you're late. And he goes, listen, man, every time I like to go on these big fucking road trips with you, I like to make sure that I take this car, okay? She's important to me. She's got a lot of miles on her, all right? And sometimes, she glitches out. He's like, well, that's no excuse. You're late. Like, he's acting exactly like fucking Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, Che. He's like, well, we're going to be even more late now that you're standing outside and on the side of the road. Get your fanny in here. Get your keister in here. He's like, fine, but I'm very upset with you. And he sits down in the car and they fucking drive off. They drive off. We then cut to the Comic-Con, chat. We cut to the Comic-Con, and, we see all these fucking losers. No, honestly, they do not. I'll tell you this. I've been to many Comic-Cons. I've been to many of these anime expo, what have you events, fan expo events, comic book expo events. And they do, I'll give them this, they do a good job of showing a broad variety of people, Chad, a variety of people. People who are just, hey, we're just here to have fun, we're completely normal and everything. And other people like, Jesus Christ, you have no social skills whatsoever. And we see an entire spectrum of them, Chad. It's amazing. And so all of them are getting there kind of like sporadically. So Wilson, he's the first one to get there, chat. And he's going to fucking go ahead and look at the Utopia book. He's going to look at the Utopia book. He's going to place the first bid, right? And he's waiting outside the hotel room. They invite him in. A couple have rented out the hotel room, chat. They brought some of Hermione Granger's friends. I don't know, from the Harry Potter movies. I don't know who they all are, chat. Who are, other than Harry, he's dead. I don't know what happened to Harry. She's like, fuck you in your comic book. I'm not going to get involved. But they invite him in, and they have him sit down. They show him a fucking page. He's like, oh, he's amazed by it. And, they're like, okay, put your fucking contact information in your bid. And so he does it, chat, but he puts Wilson on there. I guess that's his full name. But he doesn't put a phone number, just put an email address. And he puts down like $500. And he says, I'll contact you. You don't contact me, I'll contact you about this book, okay? I'll get this fucking money together. And they're like, oh shit, this guy's, we'll take him seriously. And they bring all these other people, chat. They do a huge montage of all the fucking freaks that come in and see this book. They have this one guy who's dressed as a fucking flower. He's the flower boy, chat. And he's like, I am not this individual. I'm Flower Boy. And he sits down, looks at the comic. We see this one guy who's dressed up like Mr. Rabbit. He just doesn't say anything. He's dressed up as Mr. Rabbit. He's got the full costume on. He sits down, watch it. We get all sorts of people, chat. Like I said, a broad variety. We got one guy who's dressed up as like the little girl from the comic, chat. Looks like a Powerpuff Girl. His name is Mr. Powerpuff Girl. He sits down, and we all put their information in the book, chat, and their various bids, right? And we see that for Ian. We see that for Ian, chat. You know, he's kind of the most normal out of all the people, I'd say. You know, he looks at the book and he's like, oh wow, it's cool. You know, he puts down his bid and he leaves. And then we get Becky. Becky, she's a little. There's something off about her. Because, you know, she's like, I want to see more of it. And they're like, only one page each. Because if you see the other pages, then it's not worth it, right? And she's like, yeah, but can you just tell me? Can you just tell me if there's any references to any diseases? And these two, like, they don't know anything about this book. They just know that people love it. They're obsessed with it. And they're like, we don't know. Sorry, we didn't really look into it that way. And she's like, okay. And Becky leaves very distraught. She leaves very distraught because she wants to know about all of these diseases, chat. If there's a germ, is there a new germ? It's a crazy shit. And eventually, like Samantha, she's the last one to see the. Also, Ian, he snaps a fucking photograph. Ian, he's a sneaky little sumbitch. He manages to snap a photograph of the page that he's looking at when Hermione and Ron are tickling each other and flirting with each other, Chad. You know, drinking fucking champagne and all that, celebrating because they're gonna fucking take all the money from these goddamn nerds, right? And so, but then Sam's the last one to see it, and I guess she's normal, but she's just very serious about it. She's like, oh yes, and she places her bet. Later on, Ian, he wants to meet up with Becky, of course, but then no one knows what each other looks like, which I find highly unlikely. And he's like, are you Becky? Talks to this very sexy woman, chat. She's dressed up like, kind of like it's like an anime nurse character. Like, waifu nurse, chat. She's like, I'm not Becky. No, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. And Ian's like your prototypical square, chat. You just look at him as like, yep, that's a nerd. You could just tell. It's like, I would fucking start beating him up if I could. I can't help myself. And so he's looking around for Becky. And he goes to the bar. He's like, I would like your finest alcoholic beverage. Like, seriously, Chad. It's like, I'm going to get the berry bombastic mojito. Just looking at that, you know. And so then Becky comes on over and she was like, I would like one beer, please. It's like, you can't just say I would like a beer. You have to say I like a Heineken. I would like a Hefeweizen. I would like a specific brand of beer. You can just tell these people have not been outside. It's just like, I would like a beer. What kind of beer? Let me help you. So I'll tell you this, they did get this right. They did get this whole, like, hey, awkward, like, we're not really good at socializing, right. Hello, fellow kids. Exactly, now, brother. That's exactly how it is. And then fucking Ian and Becky make eye contact and are like, Becky? Ian? And I'm like, oh. And they're very awkward, very awkward. Becky seems to be a little easier to talk to Ian. And they're kind of flirting back and forth. Ian, you know, they bring him his drink, and it's fucking ridiculous. Look, he's got, like, these, the glow in the dark. It's got the glowy, flashing ice cubes in there, and he's like, this is quite ostentatious. You know, all that shit. And he's like, can I trade this in for one beer? I'm gonna trade in my drink for a beer. It's like, okay. But she fucking grabs, and, you know, Becky, she's the most rambunctious of them, chat. She's the most outlandish. She's the biggest extrovert of all of them, chat. I mean, she's very introverted to begin with. And she takes some and sip. It's like, ooh, that's good. No, I get another one. He's like, I will cancel my one beer request. I will like another berry blast mojito, please. And they all start bonding and shit. Start talking about it. Ian starts talking about his love. He plays competitive Risk. Che plays competitive Risk. That's his big secret. He's a published writer. She goes, oh my God, who do you work for? What company do you work for? And he goes, well, I publish my work on fanfiction.net. And she's like, oh. And he's like, what actually do you do? He's like, I sell insurance for Lyme disease. That's what I do. I don't like it, but it pays the bills. And Becky, I don't know what Becky says. She's very cagey about it, yeah. For whatever reason, she's very nervous about saying, like, what's your biggest secret? And she doesn't want to say that she has seizures, but it's like, I don't know. Unless there's something, there must be more to. I can only assume there's more to that. Like, it goes deeper than that, but yeah, apparently she has seizures, she doesn't want to talk about it. And eventually, chat, they're fucking walking around, they're talking about their interests, their likes and dislikes and shit. It's like, what if two nerds just met up and started hanging out at Comic-Con, and, they had, like, two Berry Blast mojitos each, chat, so they get quite drunk, and then the sex happens, chat, or at least the smooching happens, because Becky's like, all right, come here, you little pasty nerd, and she starts smooching him, chat, right in the middle of this hallway. Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's just adorable. Later on, chat, we cut to Sam, good old Sam, and she's walking around. She sees these fucking nerds who are obsessed with Utopia and dystopia. They're always talking about it, and they're like, "Please join us, woman creature, to talk about dystopia and utopia." And she's like, "Yeah, but you guys are all into like the conspiracies and the diseases, and I predicted 2014, all those plagues." And they're like, "No, we want to talk about the characters." And she fucking goes off. He's like, "Oh, you just want to talk about the story, the characters? You think dressing up with them makes you cool? It doesn't make you cool, okay? This fucking story right here predicted plagues and major events. It afflicted us for 5 years. If you will see this leaf, you'll see the specific leaf. It is in the shape of what African country? Uganda, okay? And you'll notice right above it there on that one tree, there are 3 leaves. There are 3 leaves. And what did they call the fucking disease? Bat 3 disease. They call it the Bat 3 vampiric plague, all right? There you go, And then if you'll notice right on the other side of this page, in the right-hand corner, you see that right-hand corner right there? What is that leaf in the shape of? Yes, the native Ugandan bat. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. And they're like, holy shit. And Wilson's just like, oh my God, I love her. Like, he hears all this shit. And eventually, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Hey, Nate. Whoa, hey, Nate. Welcome back. I'm back. It's been a hot minute. Hey, Nate. Hope you're doing very well. And so, good old Wilson, he finds himself a table. He starts fucking writing because he's like, oh my God, all these things. And eventually, Ian and Becky, they spot him, like, that guy has to be Wilson. They sit down and like, Wilson, or like, Becky, Ian? And then fucking Samantha comes over. She's like, I have brought us beer beverages. And they're like, beer beverages? And they drink some beer beverages, chat. And they're just hanging out. They're having a good time. These people who have never fought, even though they've talked to each other online for 2 years, okay? They did not know what each other looked like, which I find very highly suspect, but okay, I'll allow it for now. For the sake of the review, I'll allow it. And they start hanging out like they've been friends forever, and they talk about all the fucking conspiracy theories of this book. Meanwhile, chat, there is one last person who's going to look at the Utopia comic, and this guy, he's a fucking rich collector, chat. I don't know what he does, but he's got a lot of fucking money. He comes in there, and he tells Hermione and Ron Weasley, he says, listen, I have 20 grand right here, right now. I will pay you right now. Just give me the fucking shit. And you're like, oh, shit, okay. And they give him the fucking thing, chat. And he walks off with the fucking book. They're like, all right, fuck the rest of these people. We sold it 20 grand. Hell yeah, we'll sell that. Sounds good to me. Also, there's another character in the show, chat. It's this little kid who apparently lives with a single mother. He's a child of I think he has like 3 other siblings, chat. And he just decides to leave his mom in their apartment, chat. And he goes from, I don't know, Kansas City all the way to fucking Chicago or wherever. I guess, no, it's like Los Angeles or something. And that's where he travels, chat. Just like, fuck it, I want to see this Utopia comic, because he's one of those crazy conspiracy theorists too, chat. He's obsessed with it as well. And, he goes there. That's another plot in the movie. It's very important what's going to come up in a bit. And so, fucking, Ron Weasley and fucking Hermione, they're partying. This guy just bought the fucking comic. Sounds great. And that little kid, chat, from Kansas City, he comes in, he knocks on the door. He's like, I want to see Utopia. And, they're fucking been drinking champagne. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I actually just sold Utopia to this guy. He's in the penthouse. Here's his card, though. If you want to see, maybe he'll show it to you. He's like, I just really want to see Utopia. And she goes, like, just talk to him. Maybe he'll let you look at it. Yeah, it's great. And she's like, all right, bye. Guys, you won't believe I just saw the cutest little boy ever. And he's like, thank you, bitch. He just continues on. And what this fucking kid does, chat, is absolutely goddamn amazing. because he's gonna fucking bamboozle everybody. He's like, you could tell he's have to, because his mom is fucking overworked. She's taking care of 4 goddamn kids all day. She's slept on the couch. He's had to take care of himself. And so he's like, I'm gonna fucking, this is how I'm gonna do it. And so he goes down the fucking floor, right, in the main floor, and he's like, he fills out like a little sticky, like they give the little badges, right, to all these people that go through certain exhibits. And he takes one and he writes the guy's name on it, right? And he puts it on his fucking shirt. And he goes to security or goes to the reception and says, excuse me, I lost my dad. This is his name right here. Is he in the registry? I just don't know where he is. And they're like, oh my God, we'll find your dad. We'll make sure to take you back to your room and everything. We'll give you a key card because they're concerned. But this kid's he's a swindling chat. He's a little con man. He's a little shit. Eventually, we cut back to Mr. Fedora and Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory chat, and they have entered the hotel, and they're seeing all this shit. They're like, this is kind of weird. Well, see, what is this? And they're like, it's like a Comic-Con where people come to dress up and talk about, comic books and cartoons. And Sheldon looks around and just goes, plebeians. And they're like, where's the room? Because they're there to see Utopia as well, chat. And so they go to Utopia. They go to the specific hotel room. They knock. And they come on in. Or they, the person, Ron Weasley, he answers the door. And they go, hey, guys, what's up? He's like, we're here to see Utopia. He's like, apologies. We actually just sold it not that long ago. And they're like, oh, you sold it. Who did you sell it to? And they go, I mean, we don't want to reveal that information, clientele discretion. And go, yes, of course. And they pull out a fucking gun. They're like, where did you fucking sell Utopia? Who has it? They're like, oh! And they take out all these goddamn guns, you have silencers on them and shit, and they fucking close. Everyone's going, oh my God, they have guns. And they're like, what do you want? We would like the list of all your bidders. Anyone who has seen Utopia. Has anyone in this room seen Utopia? And they all raise their hands. He goes, okay, good. Can you also provide us the list of the people who also looked at Utopia? And they go, sure, of course. And they hand him the list and he goes, oh, this is quite good. And then Sheldon just goes in the back room and just starts eating his Chex Mix and goldfish. Yeah, that's all he does. And then Mr. Fedora is like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take out my stuff right here, goes inside his bag, and he produces all these little plastic containers with these needles in them, chat, with shots. And he goes, listen, this is what I'm going to do, okay? And they're like, is this a robbery? He goes, yeah, this is a robbery. Sure. This is what I'm going to do, okay? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a little shot. And you're good. It's going to be like, it's not going to be even worse than drinking some champagne. It'd actually be even less than that. And you're going to be a little drunk as well. You're going to be a little hungover, but you're going to be okay, but you're going to go to sleep. And everyone's like, are you sure? Is that okay? And, he's like, yeah, it's fine. Right, Sheldon? He goes, yes, you'll sleep forever. And so then the only person who has any fucking sense is Hermione's like, fuck that. I'm not letting this guy put a shot in me with some illicit substance. No. And Ron Weasley's fucking idiot. He's like, don't worry, honey. It's just going to make us go to sleep. Yeah, forever. And so this guy just comes to Mr. Fedora, just like Ron Weasley's like, I'll volunteer first. And so they put this fucking thing in him, and he's like, oh, whoa! And he just fucking, his throat just seizes up. And he falls down dead, Chad. Falls down the couch. He's like, oh, it's the needle in his arm. It's like, shit, they do everybody. And the only one who's like still fucking panicking, Chad, is Hermione. And she's like, please, why are you doing this? We gave you fucking the thing, please. And he's like, I'm sorry you looked at it. That's what we got to do. They shoot her up, Chad. They shoot her up. And then, like I said to DT Dark Slayer, it's fucking nuts. And so they take the list of all the bidders, chat. Everyone has written their name and contact information. They go to each and every single person's room. So the first person they go to is Flower Boy. And they're like, Mr. Flower Boy. And he opens the door. He goes, yes, hello, citizen. How are you? I am Flower Boy. I have the abilities of plants and also herbicide. And they shoot him in the fucking head. Dead. Boom, dead. Shoot him in the fucking head, chat. They go to the next room. They go to the very next room, chat. get this one very tall looking geek, and they're going, Mr. Herbert, and he goes, yes, boom, right in the fucking head, dead, Chad, dead. They go, this one guy who was running the goddamn stand for Dystopia, Chad, opened up the door, and they're going, yes, Mr. Anderson. He goes, yeah, boom, right in the fucking head, Chad. They go to the one room with the guy who was literally dressed up as Mr. Rabbit, who doesn't say a fucking word, and they go, Mr. Rabbit opens it up, and he goes, boom, right in the fucking head, Chad. And they just systematically shoot and murder all of these people, Chad, until they get to this one last room. We have this one guy who's dressed up as the character of Janine, Chad. Janine, or I guess, no, Colleen. Her name is Colleen, not Janine. Colleen. And they get this guy's like, he's like, Mr. Stedworth? And he goes, he's like, yeah, what? Boom! And they shoot him in the fucking head, and they go, well, Mr. Stedworth apparently has a history of mental illness, so we're just gonna fucking frame him for what we goddamn did. And so they go in his room, chat, they like they sprinkle some fucking alcohol on him, and they put the gun in his hands. Like, excellent, excellent. Now, the only things that they apparently need, though, it's like, okay, well, we need to get the fucking Utopia manuscript, so let's go get that fucking Utopia manuscript. That's what the first thing that we need to get. And so they get up to the goddamn room, chat, where that guy is, but little do they know, chat, the kid was brought up there, and the kid's just fucking enjoying himself. He's like Macaulay Culkin, chat, in Home Alone. He's taking, he's looking at everything, but oh shit, because apparently, chat, that one guy's coming who bought the comic, and he's brought that waifu girl with him, that sexy big boobed waifu girl. She's got, the bazungas, and so he brought her for the sex, right? And he hides under the bed. He hides under the bed. But the rich guy, he hears a little knock on his door, and fucking Sheldon, Chad, and Mr. Fedora, they come on in, and they're asking for the Utopia. And they fucking pull out their goddamn guns on him. And the waifu girl, she thinks this is a fucking prank. She thinks, oh, you guys cosplayers? Are you guys cosplayers? And Sheldon just fucking reels back his goddamn hand into the butt of the gun and just smacks her in the fucking eye, chat. Boom, she goes down. She's like, oh. And Sheldon, he just points the gun, boom, blows her fucking head off, chat. It's like, holy shit. Meanwhile, fucking Fedora, Sheldon, he takes like this statue, chat, with this very pointy like sword, and he stabs the rich guy's hand into the goddamn table so he can't get his hand out. He's like, and they're asking for, where's the comic? He's like, it's in the safe. And they're like, what's the combination? And he gives them the fucking combination. The kid, he's like, oh shit, the safe is right here. And so the kid puts the fucking combination in, chat, and he takes Utopia as fucking Sheldon blows the head off of the rich guy. And then the kid takes off. And they're like, we gotta kill that fucking kid. And they go after him, trying to like, oh shit, fuck. But the kid's too goddamn fast, shit. He's too wily. Chat, right? And so then he escapes, and they're like, fuck, that's not good. Well, who else do we want to find? We have to track down that kid. Who else is on the list, chat? And we find out because they weren't in their rooms. Wilson, Ian, Becky, and Samantha, Chad, because they're all downstairs getting drunk and drinking beers, hanging out with each other, Chad. And they're like, oh, shit. Like, they're going to be coming for him at this point. And then we do a hard cut. It's like, oh, well, our hero's going to get caught up in all of this murder shenanigans, Chad. But then we cut back, Chad. We cut back to the hotel room, Chad, and a new character enters in here. They just walk in, look very disheveled. It's a female, Chad. It is a female of the human species, right? She walks in and she sees it looks like they set it up like a party gone bad with all these fucking drugs and heroin and the crack cocaine and the devil's lettuce, Chad. The devil's lettuce is everywhere, Chad. It's like a cabbage patch. It's crazy. But we see that Hermione Granger, chat, she's all like, she's all fucked up and shit, but she's still alive. And this person who's just taking like all this shit off the people, like their jewelry and the money, she's like, I'm gonna fucking take all this, goes over to Hermione, and she's like, so where's Utopia? She's like, I don't fucking came in here, shot, poison. And she goes, yeah, I know, but where is Utopia? She's like, why? Who are you? And she reveals, my name is Jessica Hyde, chat, which is the name of the protagonist from Dystopian Utopia, chat, the character, the actual real character, chat. And it's like, wait a minute. And Hermione's like, and she fucking dies. And Jessica Hyde, she walks out of the room. She says, that's the big reveal. Utopia, dystopia. It is a fucking real thing. These are real fucking characters, chat. And somehow they don't want this sequel to get out there. They don't want their big fucking plans to be revealed, chat. And these fucking goddamn nerds are about to reveal it to the world. And that, my friends, is Amazon's Utopia, episode 1. What will happen next? Who knows? The show was canceled. Who knows? I don't know if they ended it, if they gave it a proper ending at the all 8 seasons. Not sure. I will say this. It caught me off guard. I was like, okay, this is kind of like just a weird. See, it's like, okay, it's gonna have kind of like a sci-fi angle to it. Like, I guess like, oh, it's kind of analyzing geek culture and people who aren't really known for their like their social skills, like, which, you know, they capture that accurately. I'll give them that. But I was like, what is it about? Oh, it's a fucking hitman story and shit. It's like there's murders. A lot of people died in this first episode, so it caught my interest. I'll say that. Kind of made me like, okay, I want to see what the mystery is here. Apparently, John Cusack is in this show, not in the first episode. Rainn Wilson is in this show, not in the first episode, chat. Apparently, he plays the scientist who created all the diseases, and John Cusack, I don't know, maybe he's the villain. No idea. No idea, chat. But it was interesting. I'd give it a matinee because, like, okay, what is this? I mean, it's well acted. It's you know, it has establishes a cool mystery. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the first episode, so I make it solid matinee, chat. I watched the British series. It was way better. It was ruthless. Oh shit. 1,000 biddies. I'll review the first episode or check out whatever episode you want me to check out. 1,000 biddies, I'll do it. Now it says they're the big celebrity guest stars being saved for the last episode. I'll not be surprised. MJ McAllister, welcome to stream. Wilson Cusack are great in the remake. Yeah, I've only watched 1 episode, but I dug it, though. I dug it. And we don't want the Empower conspiracy nuts. Fair enough. Fair enough. But there you go, chat. I hope you, Casey, I just saw you there, Casey. I hope you enjoyed my review, chat, my scene by scene breakdown of Amazon's Utopia. It was interesting. I liked it. I liked it. I don't know if I'll keep watching it. You know, there's so many shows out there, chat. There's so much content I have to work on. But I dug it. It had a cool, interesting premise, chat. But if you don't mind, I'm going to take a brief break, chat, and then we're going to get into some multiplayer shenanigans tonight, chat. We're going to play a heaping amount, chat. A heaping amount of Jackbox. So, in the meantime, chat, please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves, and I shall return. Stick around.